Amazing.
But
Look, you got your shirt and everything.
I did. I tried to prepare so
So,
much for
so,
that.
so this is where all your magic happens. This is where all the videos and photos and
Yeah,
all that stuff that's going on in your Instagram account happen.
yeah. This is the location.
That's terrific. And you're in California. We're in California. Are you? What area?
I'm in North Hollywood area.
No kidding.
Pretty cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
No wonder you're up late all the time. I would be too if I lived in North Hollywood.
Yeah.
Too fun. So yeah. So what's going on? What's happening? I mean I can't help but notice you have brown hair, but as we've discussed in prior conversations on Instagram, you often will color it red or not.
Oh yeah, it's just faded at this point. But most of the time I color. I've been coloring it like different shades of red or auburn since high school, just because I think it's just like a pretty color.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And did you were you getting any kind of comments from people who are redhead friends of yours or whatnot in school? They're like, "Hey, I love your hair color. I wish I had that."
I don't know. It's like I never knew that many people who had like red hair, which was the weird part.
Yeah,
But everyone seemed to really dig it, especially because like a lot of the times I would go with the more like auburn, so inside in the indoor lighting, it would just look like kind of like a weird brown, and I would go outside and it was like, oh, all these shades of red, and people were like, wow, this is really cool.
yeah,
So it was like the kind of weird in between, but
yeah.
I've I've worked with some models like now and then, like in LA, just on group shoots and stuff, who've had like red hair, like the Irish red hair, which
Yeah,
is I think is so gorgeous. Um, yeah, I'm always like so jealous of their hair because it's like this beautiful color
yeah.
and so vibrant.
Do you color your own hair? Or do you have someone do it for you?
Don't do it for me. I would not trust myself coloring my own hair.
So when you decide to go for it, you go for it. You go to a salon, you get it done, and obviously the outcome is what you want. So that's amazing. Now, once you have the red hair, what do you do next? What's next on the list? Once you go, okay, I've got the shade I want. I've got everything I need. Now, what do you do? Do you go and do photo shoots, or do you just go through life this way for a while? Or like, take us through that.
I mean, I'll wait like a day or two before I do any shoots just to like make sure that the color has like I don't know, sometimes it's like really intense, so I wait a day or two for it to like just fade just a little bit so it looks more natural, and
Yeah,
then like if I have any photo shoots I'll like do the photo shoots, and
right.
it's really cool. Yeah,
That's
the photographers seem to dig it because they can play with the lighting.
right, exactly. And so then, if I was going to ask you, you're an actor,
Yep.
and so you're doing that. What kind of acting do you do? What is your sort of forte?
Well, I personally prefer acting on screen, film, and stuff like that. I have done stage, and I will do stage like now and then. But when it comes down to it, I really like acting on screen. I personally prefer like action, drama, high fantasy, that kind of genre. But it's not easily accessible for the kind of work I've been able to do because I'm not like big enough where I'm getting those like high castings and stuff like that where they have the budget for that kind of thing, unfortunately.
Right,
But I'm working towards that.
that's awesome. Are you from Hollywood, or are you from somewhere else in the U.S.? Where are
But
you
no,
from?
I'm from the East Coast. I'm from Pennsylvania, just outside Philly.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I'm on the East Coast too, out of Canada. So I'm in Nova Scotia, which is
Hey.
way east.
Yeah,
What brought you to Hollywood? Was it just that your acting career?
it was acting. I mean,
Or-
I came out to LA for college because I wanted to get my degree in acting, but once I graduated, I just stayed out here.
Yeah, and what most people would do. I mean, I've been there a few times, and every time I go there, I certainly want to stay. There's
And
something
the
about
weather is amazing.
yeah, exactly. There's no winters, and you would have had a lot of winter in Pennsylvania, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I was sick of it, and I have like really bad knees, so like they would hurt in the winter too.
Yeah,
So
I
I get
bet.
out here, and it's like, wow, I don't feel an extreme pain in the middle of winter. This is great.
Right. So, how do you find working the landscape there with acting and or modeling? What is as we all probably are familiar with it, you know, LA is one of those spots where people like to flock to, LA and New York. Do you find it difficult to navigate the waters there and to try to get, you know, different things on board?
I'd say yes. Luckily, I kind of got a boost with going to college and getting my degree in acting. So a lot of the teachers were already in the industry, and a lot of the people you graduate with, like not all of them go into solely acting.
Yeah,
Some of them go into directing. Some of them go into cinematography and stuff like that. So luckily, I have a group of friends and even just my roommates who like creating stuff. So I'm usually, for the most part, creating something, whether it be something with friends or something outside of my friend group, which is mostly modeling these days.
right. Yeah,
But because the industry has been really difficult recently. I'm like not the only one. Nobody's getting cast in anything unless they're already famous at this point, because everything is reboots and sequels. So
yeah.
Hollywood's kind of a little stagnant right now, which is making things difficult. But you
You
know,
have
there's always something to do. It's just hard to find unless you have that like safety net group.
right. And so do you have a project on the go now with friends? Like, do you have something on the go now, whether it's a short film or anything like that? Like, is there much on the go that way on your own?
Yeah, my roommates are doing like little short films right now just because there are four of us that's stuck in a house together, so we gotta find something to do.
Yeah.
But there's actually something that's like been coming out right now. It's called Look Ma No Helmet. Some of my friends from college, they started a mini production company, and they did a short film this time last year that I was in, and then they called me back for these like little skits. Kind of, I wouldn't say it's like SNL style because like it's not very improvised. Like all the sketches are like written out and filmed multiple takes. It's not done like live or anything, but it's just stupid little skits that are really fun, and I'm in a couple of them, and yeah, it's fun, and people should check it out because
Yeah.
it's really great.
Sketch work.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll make sure I put a link in the video above, and people can check that out too. Once you send me that link, for sure.
I
Um,
will send you that link.
yeah, that's great.
I'm
And
sure my directors will be very happy about that.
yes, I'm glad to help wherever I can, really. It's awesome that you've agreed to come on and have a chat with us. And you know, as I said, talk red hair, talk about life, talk about whatever it is that is on our minds. But I've been so intrigued about our initial conversations. You know, when I sent you a message on Instagram, and I'm like, you know, are you red hair? And you're like, no, I'm not, but I love the redhead culture. And I have this group of friends. We're just infatuated with with red hair. And you know, I mean, it's it's odd and rare to have that. But you know what it is most for me? What draw me to it is the fact that because you're not an authentic redhead, you understand. It's almost like you guys understand the culture. You're kind of getting it, and you know that makes people really happy and proud and inspired, because it's a lofty goal of mine to be able to have millions of people just like you who aren't necessarily naturally redhead, but who are entrenched in the culture to the point where they want to color their hair red on a regular basis, and just kind of have fun with it, like you've been doing on Instagram for us, which I thank you so much for. It's been really awesome to begin
My
something here with you.
pleasure.
Yeah, so it's so you really drew me in with your just this understanding and this kind of interesting understanding of the redhead culture and all that. I'm not sure if you know how many redheads are in the world. 271-ish million, similar to the size of the U.S. population. So there's a lot of them out there, but yet it's a really small market. But I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to watch this video that are going to be like, this is cool. This girl's got it going on. She's not a redhead, but man, she wants to be a redhead so bad. And but yeah, you go back to your own too. You go back to your own natural state, which is awesome as well, right? So you've got the best of both worlds.
What can I say? Now, I love the idea of like rare hair colors, rare eye colors. Like, honestly, people with like red hair and blue eyes, like that's a genetic lottery.
Yeah, you're right. You're
It's
right.
like they're both so rare, and it's like that combination is like pretty rare too. And growing up, I always wanted red hair and blue eyes, and brown hair and brown eyes. And
Yeah.
I'm like, where can I find eyes there?
Well, you can get, let's see, you can get things for your eyes that turn your eyes blue. I can't, for the reason that, contacts. Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Get your hair colored red, you're all set. You've got what you wanted. Now, here's something interesting I want to ask you. When you do have red hair, or when it's really vibrant enough, or to the point where people will come up to you, and do you hear anything from anybody? Do you experience the redhead thing when you have that any color or any shade of red hair that's going on in your hair?
I mean, like I've never gotten bullied because of it. Like I know like especially like younger people with red hair, they'll like sometimes get some crap about that, which I think is ridiculous. It's 2020. Why are we bullying people about their hair color? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I have been called redhead a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, yeah, in school too by teachers, and like there was one point where they had agents come in and like they were talking about like what parts he would be available for and stuff, and they're like, I mean, if I saw, and to me they were like, I mean, if somebody like was casting a short redhead, like, yeah, you would be great. I was like, redhead? Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's me. So that's, yeah, and I mean, you know, I was interested to see because when people have red hair, not so much in North America, but certainly overseas in Europe and other places where the redhead population is much larger. There's still a lot of bullying going on over there, and it's not, I can say it's not so much so bad over in North America. I mean, there's still pockets of it, but over there it's there's a lot of places that are pretty bad, and so you know those folks who are going through that, we'd love to be able to talk to them, and but also we'd love to be able to have them watch a video like what you and I are talking about here now, and providing a platform of inspiration for people who are having difficulties, and it's never, not always just about the negative side of having red hair. It's more than that. It's about sharing this statement, this culture, and basically educating people on what it is that red hair means to someone who is redhead, and or ginger, how we call them. uh, but yeah, so it's kind of interesting how it all kind of comes around, and once you really get to understand more about the culture, it really started to just blow my mind on how many festivals there are in the world. Like there's over like 100 festivals that happen yearly, redhead festivals, where you have just this community gathering of thousands of redheads, music, food, you name it. And no, it's not just for redheads. I mean, obviously everybody else goes, but predominantly you see this sea of red hair for how far you can see. So I mean, that would be really interesting for you to check that out, and to put on red hair for that too. So, but yeah, so and so as things kind of progress, I mean, with your friends and stuff like that, where do you see life going? I mean, what's the ultimate prize for you as you move forward?
The ultimate prize and the ultimate goal would be an EGOT. But more realistically, yeah, I just want to be like happy and make money doing something that does not make me miserable. So like just being able to not necessarily be a famous actress or a famous model, but like a successful actress and model who's able to make a living off of that and pay her rent off of that.
What's an
That I
e-
think is the ultimate goal.
right? No, that's fantastic. What's an EGOT?
Oh, it's when you get an Emmy, Golden Globe, Oscar, and a Tony.
Yeah,
You
so
get the
there's the
E.
ultimate prize right there.
Oh yeah.
That's fantastic. There's lots of time for that too for you, I'm sure. And yeah, exactly. I mean, it just takes one short film or one view or one whatever. I mean, it's pretty interesting. I remember I did a lot of work with one of the I guess one of the largest film festivals in Canada, as their sponsorship director. So I've been around the film side of things on that front for several years in the past, and it's really quite interesting, how that industry works. And I was in the music business for years before that too. So it's like, the grind is there, and it's a never ending grind. And sometimes you feel like you're grinding for no use, but everything you do, it just adds to the resume, and it just takes that one shoe to drop out of the sky and you catch it, right? So I mean, that's all it takes.
Yeah. And luckily, I have good friends who are very driven. Like, specific shout out to those Meddling Kids Productions, or TMK, they call themselves more or less. Like, those guys are so driven and they're always doing something. And those are the people who are doing the Commando helmet. Like, honestly, I would trust them with my career in a second.
And are they roommates of yours, or are they friends from elsewhere?
They are not, but they are friends from school, and my roommates work with them a lot
Yeah.
too. So like we're all pretty close.
Yeah, that's a really cool story. I'm curious to see how everything kind of starts to unfold and follow your career. And I'm going to be following too on Instagram. But do you mostly post modeling on Instagram, or is it just what you're drawn to that you hit on Instagram? Because you have a really intriguing Instagram page. I'm having a look at it as we speak. Like, there's a lot of great imagery there. There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of everything in there. I mean, do you specifically have an idea in your mind or a vision when you're starting to look at putting posts out on a regular basis? What is it?
Like I used to be so organized about my posting because I worked in social media management for like 2 years or something.
Okay.
But like you get to that point where you're just like, the majority of your followers will never see your layout. So like color coding doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's just like all about that one image people see per day. So like honestly, these days my only rule is only post once per day,
Yep.
and then just post whatever makes you happy. And I try to keep my Instagram relatively professional. So like when I say post what makes me happy, it's like post what makes me happy and don't like focus on color schemes and stuff like that. But still like just post something professional that makes you happy. So I stopped focusing on color schemes, stopped focusing on posting times because with the new algorithm, none of that really does anything. So, but when it comes to like my more quote unquote fun side, I like have fun with stuff like TikTok, which I know sounds so cringy, but it's fun. It's like me just trying to relive Vine. It's great. It's
Relive
stupid,
Vine,
but it's
exactly.
fun.
Yeah, yeah. That's right. No, it's look. I'm telling you, it's a very intriguing Instagram page. It's awesome, and I'll also put that link up there too for everybody who wants to have a peruse through it. I mean, there's modeling in there. There's, you name it. It's in there. But there is a theme in there, which is nice. I mean, I can see the theme, so I'm sure everybody else can too. Color schemes is interesting. So by that you mean, would you have done back in the day? You would set up your Instagram page so that when people are filtering through it or looking through it, it follows a pattern, right? That's kind of what you mean by color coding. And
Yeah, there are like a lot of influencers out there these days that are like, there's like one girl I follow. We knew each other in school a little bit.
yeah,
Uh, like I swear, this girl's so committed to her aesthetic. She only like dresses in 3 colors. It's like tan, white, beige, sometimes orange. Uh,
wow,
and she'll only post pictures that are that. And like props for her. I can no longer try to do that. I've tried. I cannot do it. I
yeah.
cannot live my life in 3 colors. I just can't do it.
Why do I believe you somehow?
My
I,
aesthetic is eclectic professional.
yeah, I love it. No, well, I mean, look, I mean, the other day when you posted, look, look at this. You had orange pants on and this T-shirt that you're wearing now. I mean, amazing, right? And so it's fantastic. I think it's a great page. And are you on Facebook as well and all these other social channels, or is Instagram your deal?
Ooh, Instagram and TikTok are my main two. My Facebook I usually just keep for my friends, although I'm pretty sure I have like a Facebook like fan page or whatever.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
not like fan page, but like the one that's connected to the Instagram. I don't really post on that. I tried Twitter once upon a time. I just could not do it, so I just
yeah,
deleted the app. My account's probably still up somewhere, but I
yeah.
haven't used that in
I know.
at least a couple years.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's always just like Instagram and TikTok these days.
yeah, no, that's fantastic. So I usually like to sort of tail the end of our conversation with asking you a question in which you would have a response, that I guess the question would be this: if somebody is watching this video, and you could give them a couple of words of inspiration, with whatever it is that they're doing, red hair or not red hair, it doesn't really matter. What is your mantra? Like, what would you be saying to somebody if they came across you and they said, like, how do you? I don't know what to do. What's your inspirational quote back to them?
Ooh.
Yeah,
My inspiration would be just follow your gut, because most of the time your gut is like the universe telling you something.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Whether that gut is telling you wait a little bit and try again later, or just go for it and see what happens.
right.
Follow your
Awesome.
gut.
Yeah, yeah. Now, that's great. Thank you. Do you have any questions for me?
Ooh. Um. Hmm.
Since we just met a week ago. No, it's been a little more than that.
Oh, how long has this been going on?
Yeah, good question. It's been going on since 2018. And
Nice.
yeah, 2018. And it was started through the inspiration from my kids, who were drawing photos of mystical creatures that we were going to take and transform into a t-shirt exactly as they were drawn. But before we did that, I wanted to ensure that we had a brand first, so that we could keep the brand sort of the name up there, and then they would have a collection underneath the brand. And so Authentic Ginger Clothing was the name of the brand that we had decided on. And we still haven't yet to do their collection of these mystical creatures that they drew, which they were authentic, I guess, drawings. We still have them, but yeah, that's 2018. August 2018 is when we started, and haven't really looked back since. And if you haven't figured out through some of the social stuff and some of our website, messaging, I always kind of say our shirts come second towards what the message is, which is be authentic, be ginger, be proud. Like, we really strive to expose the rarity and uniqueness of being a redhead in the world today, and providing a place of belonging, so that as our years come along, and in the future as of this company, we hope that we're the brand that people go to when you think red hair, redhead, whatever it is, because we offer, we're going to be offering that platform for people to draw from. So it starts with conversations just like I'm having with you, and just kind of getting to know people, real people, right? And that's what it's all about for me, is talking to people and understanding their lives, and just pulling that one nugget that can help somebody else, move forward in their life at some point. So this is all Authentic Ginger Clothing is, and I guess we'll probably start dropping the clothing part at some point soon. It'll be just Authentic Ginger, and then we'll have other products, and who knows, we'll have something else that you can color. I don't know what it is, but we'll make sure you're going to be, as I said to you from the start, you're going to be an honorary ginger for us. That's just the way it's going to be. And that's going to continue in some really creative, unique ways, I hope, and hopefully you'll be down for some of that stuff too, because I think we can totally have some fun with it. Yes. So yeah, if you don't have any more questions, this has been fantastic. It's been really great to get to know you. Again, it's only been 25, 30 minutes, but it's odd. And why I say it's odd is that I feel like I've known almost everybody that I've talked to on this Zoom thing since we're all quarantined. I feel like I know everybody more than just, like 10 years. It's really fun to be able to get to know people really fast, and everyone seems to be vibing together. So yeah, so thank you so much for that, and we'll make sure we get your links up in this video, all the ones you want. Make sure you send those to me too, though, in Instagram,
Yes.
or something like that, and we'll just keep plugging away at this message.
All right, sounds great.
Sound fair?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much again, Abby, and again, I really appreciate your time. It means a lot.
My pleasure. It's been great.
All right, take care. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.